Hello and welcome. I am so excited that you decided to join me inside of this free training. My name is Paige, and I will be helping you in this training figure out your perfect online business idea. So, we're going to match together three different things in this training. We're going to talk about your skills and talents and passions. We're also going to talk about the type of customer that you would just love to serve and to work with. And then we're also going to talk about business revenue models. Now, don't worry, that's not going to be super boring. We're not going to get hella corporate here. But we will, making money is an important part to your online business. So we're going to match those three things together to create you your perfect online business idea. So let's get into it. You're here with me inside the Online Business Matchmaker training. So I have a question first. Does this sound like you? You are dreaming of saying adios to your boss at your 9 to 5, but you don't really know how to support yourself without a regular paycheck. Maybe you have a burning passion to be your own boss, but you're kind of struggling with the whole figuring out a business idea thing. Or maybe you know that you have just one life to live and you're ready to do whatever it takes to create a life you love. So, if that sounds like you, then I'm happy to say you are absolutely in the right place inside this training. Now, let me guess, you probably wish that you could have lifestyle freedom. That means having a really relaxed and inspiring morning routine, working from a cute cafe or co-working space, having time to actually hit the gym, and then dictating your own hours and answering to yourself. I know I personally love all of these aspects of lifestyle freedom when it comes to my own online business. Maybe you're also looking for financial freedom. You would love to have more than enough money for all of your desires, pay off all your debt, and feel responsible by actually saving for your future. And lastly, location freedom. You would love to be able to travel the world, work from abroad now and again, and or maybe just work from your better couch and ditch the long commuting hours. So, here's what you're going to learn today in this training. First, we're going to talk about understanding your passions, unique skills, and areas of genius. Then we're going to get into talking about your ideal clients or customers that you'd be burning with passion to be able to help. And 3, we're going to talk about business and revenue models, but I promise that we are not going to make this super boring. And then lastly, we're going to go through our online business matchmaker exercise, pairing those 3 things together so that we get you your perfect business idea. Throughout this training, I want you to brain dump every single business idea that possibly crosses your mind. At this point, no idea is a bad idea. We're just going to take all of them and write them down. So I have a workbook for you. Click the button just below this video. You can grab a copy of the workbook and fill it on in as we're going through. I've left you a space for every single question that we have throughout the training to fill it in inside the workbook. So remember, when we are thinking about our business ideas, that successful businesses solve problems or make their customers' lives better in some way. Now, before we start, I want to introduce myself super quick because I feel like that's kind of important to understand where I'm coming from. So here is my 20s in 2.5 minutes. So at 23, I decided I wanted to start a travel blog. I had seen other travel bloggers, thought it was a hella cool thing to do, and was like, sweet, I want to do that too. So I started my travel blog. I also that same year started a master's degree, and I swear this relates to the story. I also met a really charming German guy who ended up becoming my boyfriend. So here I am with the charming German. At 24, I also decided to start a web design side hustle. So I had been running the travel blog for a while, and I realized that I liked the actual designing the blog as much as I liked the actual blogging about travel. So I decided like, hey, maybe I can actually make this into a business. Maybe people will pay me for my web design services. Then at 25, I graduated and I didn't want to do long distance anymore with my boyfriend. So I decided to move to Germany. I continued my side hustle, but I made the hard decision. I ended the travel blog. As much as I loved it, I realized that moving to Germany, a country where I didn't speak the language, I needed a business that could sustain me, and the web design services were going to do that a lot faster than the travel blog would. At 26, I became a full-time website designer while living in Germany, and I started blogging for my business to bring in clients. At 27, I started taking my business on the road. I ran my business from Germany, Bali, Canada, and also a few other countries in that year as well. I started creating digital products. I paid off my $45,000 student loan, and yes, I had just graduated 2 years before. And now at 28, I started sharing my online business and blogging secrets to you all in this free training and many other ways, also in my blog and my podcast. So that is my 20s in 2.5 minutes. Now, today, I work for months at a time from different countries. I design my day exactly how I want it. That means for me, I honestly am not a morning person. So I either give myself the freedom to sleep in the morning, or maybe I will actually get my bum to the gym. That does happen sometimes too. And then I go work from a Q cafe for a couple hours, and then I tend to come home in the afternoon, make myself lunch with my boyfriend, and then chill on the couch and work from there for the rest of the day. I'm also completely debt-free, and I run a multiple six-figure online business, which I love. Now, this is the thing. I'm not saying this because I want to brag. I'm saying this because I truly believe I'm no unicorn. Yes, this is absolutely possible for you too. If you have the drive and you have the ambition and you really want it, girl, I am so excited to see what you create, because truly, if I can do this, anyone else can do this. There's nothing extremely special about me, and I did not study this in university by any means. So, where do we start? First, we need to get into understanding your passions, your unique skills, and your areas of genius. I love this quote and I want to say it. Do what you love and you'll never work a day in your life. I run a business which I love because I'm really passionate about what I do, and it uses the skills and the areas of genius which I already have and puts them to good use. So let's try to find that for you too. Now, building a business takes a lot of effort and hours. Don't be fooled. Running a business is not all just, traveling around the world, having a good time constantly. It really does take a lot of work. So when you build a business from your passions and your talents, it's going to be a heck of a lot easier when you need to pull those long hours, because believe me, it's going to happen where some days you're going to be working day to night. You'll probably love it though, because you're running a business of something that you're really talented at and really passionate about. Now, I want you to grab your workbook and start filling it in. I have a question. First off, what are you really good at? What just comes super easily to you that doesn't come easily to the rest of the world? What is the thing that you're known for oh yeah, go to Jenny, she's the best at XYZ. What is that thing? It can be anything. Do not limit it to things that you just think currently oh no, that can't be a business. Every single thing that you're yeah, I'm pretty decent at that, write that down. Also, what do friends and family tend to come to you for help with? That could start giving you some ideas. Even if it's something organizing your pantry or your closet or something. Has a friend ever asked you for help with that? Are you really good at that? Do you tend to be the one who friends go to ask for, outfit advice? Those things are all important. So write down all of those things that people come to you for help with and that you're really good at. And then let's talk about your personal passions. What do you love doing in your everyday life? Maybe it's yoga or running or making super cute smoothie bowls. I have no idea. Whatever it is that you legitimately do every single day that you actually enjoy, think back on your week this week. What have you been doing in your free time just for enjoyment? Write down all of those bits and pieces. Now, yes, I want you to know that it is absolutely possible to build a real business from your passion. So I'm going to give you some examples of people and businesses that were started just from passion projects. So my own web design business, what happened was I really loved building my travel blog, but honestly, I loved the designing the website, the blog, as much as I loved doing the actual travel blogging. And so I decided to build a web design business. And so the problem that I'm serving for my customers is that building a website tends to be really hard and overwhelming for most people. But for me, once I figured it out and had done it a few times, it was really simple and it just came super easily to me. And again, it was something that I loved doing. Now, this is the Blonde Abroad. The Blonde Abroad does a few things, but one of the things that she does offer is all female tours. And so the problem that she's solving for her customers is girls, I'm sure you relate to this struggle. You want to go travel, but you're oh man, none of my friends are able to go with me. Who can I go with? So basically what she did is she started a travel blog, ran a travel blog, and then created these all-female tours where her followers, who were all just girls like her, could go and travel together and have a great time. Then there's Social Squares. Social Squares is a stock photography company started by a lady named Shay. And so Shay had previously been a wedding photographer, and she really legitimately enjoyed photography. But she found that it didn't give her the flexibility and freedom of her lifestyle that she wanted. So she decided to do stock photography, which she could then sell online and sort of turn her business from an in-person business with wedding photography into more of an online business that allowed her a little bit more freedom. So the problem that she's solving for her customers is that they really need pretty photos for social media, but maybe, and especially like me, I have no time or skill to DIY my own photos. I don't have the camera, I don't have the props, I don't have the lighting. I literally have no clue how to create photos that look as good as those, so I'd rather just go to her site and buy them off her instead. Then there is the Creative Law Shop. So this is from another lady named Paige. She was a lawyer in corporate, didn't love it so much, decided what she wanted to do instead was to create contracts for creative entrepreneurs that they could just purchase on her website. So the problem that she's solving for her clients and customers is that, and again, I've purchased this myself. So I want a lawyer written contract that's not super crazy expensive. I don't want to have to go to a lawyer and have them individually write me a new, say like, I don't know, privacy policy for my website when it's already been written 100 times before. I want a lawyer written contract, but I maybe don't want it like completely customized because that's the type of thing which doesn't, like a privacy policy doesn't need to be super customized. Then we have Anya. So Anya helps people learn German. So the problem she's solving is people need to learn to speak the German language, myself included, and she makes it really fun and interesting. So the problem that she's solving, again, is teaching people how to speak German in a really fun way. Now, I mean, of course, Anya, she's a fluent native German speaker. This is just a skill that she legitimately had. So when we're talking about like your skills and passions, she just spoke German, and so she decided to turn it into a business. Now, don't be afraid to build a business around something you're already passionate about and love. It is completely possible, as you can see from these examples. So again, your task for this one is to brain dump all of the potential business ideas that you have from these skills that you have. So remember, businesses solve problems. When you're writing down your skills and the things you're really good at, sort of make another note about like, okay, how could this help someone else? How could this solve a problem for someone else? Now, number 2, we're going to get into your ideal clients or customers that you'd just be burning with passion to help. We're not talking about people who are just like, yeah, okay, I'd be down, like whatever. We're talking about people who you're really stoked to work with. Hopefully now you have a couple of ideas that you've jotted down about the thing that you might like to help your customers with. Next up, we have to determine who exactly is it that we want to serve. What this is called an ideal client avatar. Basically, we're going to write out a fake person. We're going to create this person who you'd be really excited to serve with whatever your business that you decide to create is. So in order to market to them and to really create a product or service that they're going to love, you really need to understand them and their struggles. So what we're going to do, and again, use your workbook for this, is to fill in all the different questions about this potential person that you might want to help with your business. First, we're going to start with the personal details. And again, we are legitimately completely making this person up. They do not need to be a real human. So first, we want to give the person a name. Just choose any name that feels good to you. Then I want you to follow it up with their age. The reason that we need to know their age is we've got to know like roughly what demographic are we trying to hit here. So is this a girl who's 25 or is this a man who's 65? The way that you're going to create your services and products for those two different people is very, very different. And also, what city do they live in? Are they in a city like Chicago in the US, or are they over, I don't know, in Europe somewhere? Again, that could be important to determining what we're going to be creating. So we need to get a rough idea of exactly who this person is and where they are. Also, let me know about their living situation. Are they living with roommates right now? Are they living with their family? Are they away in college? Do they have their own apartment? Are they sort of like living the high life in the city with a corporate job? Or are they not doing as well and they're living with roommates at the moment? So give me an idea of like, what is their living situation like? Who are they living with? Is it friends or boyfriend or themselves? What does that look like? Next, let's get into their personal details. What is their educational background? Is this someone who never finished high school or who has a PhD, or is it somewhere in between? Maybe they went to college and they had the bank of mom and dad pay for it, or were they the college student who had 2 part-time jobs and they're still going to be toting around student loans for a couple years down the road? Again, this is going to factor into exactly how we're building our products and services when we understand this about our ideal clients. Then, let's talk about their professional details. So do they like the job that they're in? Are they driven and are they working their way up the corporate ladder? Or do they just like completely throw out the entire normal life plan and are living the laptop lifestyle while sipping on fresh coconuts from some tropical destination? Are they just checking in for their 9 to 5, or are they really focused on something like a side hustle on the side? How much money do they make? Are they happy with their salary? Are they just scraping by, or are they living the good life with as much money in their bank account as they could ever need? And then let's get into things like their hobbies. So what do they do in their free time? Or are they the type of person who's working like crazy hours that they actually do not have free time? Are they religious or spiritual or maybe a bit woo-woo? What are their hopes and dreams for the future? What does their ideal life look like? And this is important, what does their life look like after they've had the help of your business? Maybe you're going to be doing something like health coaching. And so we want to look at what is their life like now and what is the life that they will be enjoying after they have had the help of your business with your health coaching. Next, we need to get into what they like and why they like it. And the why they like it is the most important part here. So instead of if you just list me out a list of being like, okay, they like shopping at Anthro and Free People and Goop. I mean, okay, that's slightly useful, but why do they love all of those companies? Is it because they see themselves as more like a creative alternative person? That's more useful information to us than just knowing that they like to do like, I don't know, follow Gwyneth Paltrow. So again, note down all these things, but really get into the why behind them, because when we buy from a certain brand or associate ourselves with a certain thing, it's because that makes us feel a certain way, or we feel like it gives off a certain representation of ourselves as a person. So first, write down what are the brands that they're wearing every single day, and what about the brands is aspirational for them? Why do they want to buy from them? What attracts them to these brands? And then also let's get into something like TV. So what are they watching on TV? Are they watching the Kardashians, or are they tuning into every single presidential debate? Do they binge on bad reality TV, or are they really interested in documentaries? Are they all no screens in my house, or are they like literally have a TV in their bedroom? So, and really get into, again, the why behind each and every one of these questions. Then, moving over to social media. Who are they following online and why? Maybe what are their favorite bloggers? Are they into all these like health and food bloggers? Are they into vegan bloggers? Are they into, I don't know, fashion bloggers or preppy fashion bloggers or trendy, or, I don't know, edgy fashion bloggers? Who are the people that they are following online? Again, this will give you an indication of what exactly this person is like, a more rounded picture. What social channels are they on? Which ones do they absolutely hate? Which ones are they never on or never understood? Or which ones do they just like jump on the bandwagon for? Why do they follow these certain accounts that they do follow on social media? And why are they on one social platform over another? Maybe, for example, why are they not on Twitter, but they're on Instagram? Really get into those things. Then, are they hopping the globe every few months, or honestly, do they not even own a passport? Are they reading magazines, or are they just checking them out online these days? And which magazines are they reading? What do they like about the magazines that they're reading, and why exactly do they read them? What are the articles or information that keeps them coming back month after month for the same magazine? Then let's get into the feelings. So what are the emotions that are running through them, especially in relation to your potential business ideas that you've brainstormed so far? So what, again, say you want to be, I don't know, let's stick with our health coach example. Maybe you want to be a health coach. That's a potential idea for you at the moment. What are the emotions running through them related to their health? What are their fears and worries about that aspect of their life? What stresses them daily about that? What are they thinking about when it comes to health? And then what are their aspects of their life that they are unhappy with? Now, remember, this relates to, or relate this to, your passions and skills. Now, let's talk about your client and your business. So, does your business offer something that solves a pain point, or does your business offer something that is more a luxury product or service? So, basically, businesses do one of two things. They solve a problem for us in a faster, more efficient way than we could have, say, done it ourselves, or they are offering some sort of like aspirational thing that sort of adds a little bit of luxury and enjoyment to our lives. So, which does your potential business fall under, do you believe? Now, when it comes to the thing that you offer, I want you to think about what is important to them. So again, going back to one of your potential business ideas, are they all like save the environment, and they want whatever your product or service is to be super eco-friendly. Or maybe they recently read an article about how many chemicals are in their products. And so the most important thing to them when they're shopping in your field is that all their products are chemical free. Are they passionate about animals and therefore won't buy anything tested on animals? That's also important to know. Or does all of that honestly not matter and they're just shopping based off price point? Or are they willing to maybe pay more for exceptional service or really fast turnaround time? Is it important to them to have like 1 day overnight shipping or something? Or is that not so important to them? Now, let's talk about what's the most important to them when it comes to deciding between your potential business and another business which offers something similar. Does the business itself not really matter to them and they're shopping purely based off the product? Or are they shopping for the jeans that make their butt look best and they could care less about anything else? Or are they just buying something to own an item from the brand? People do this very frequently. If there's a brand which is, amazing, people often just go to buy something just because it's from the brand or just because it has the name on it. So which of these are important to them? And now, if your business solves a problem, what are they worried about would happen if they do not solve the problem? And also, again, if your business is the type of business that solves a problem, where will they be a couple months from now or maybe a year or two from now if they don't take the leap towards buying and investing with you and your business? Now, again, your task is to brain dump all of the ideas that you could have potentially had while going through this exercise. And remember, no idea is a bad idea at this point. We will cross out the bad ideas later. But remember, again, businesses solve problems. Okay, we are on to section 3. We're going to talk about business and revenue models. Now, don't let that sound intimidating to you. Basically, what this means is we're going to talk about the way that your business works and the way that it makes money. If your business does not make money, it's basically just a hobby. So we need your business to bring in revenue, and we're going to determine exactly in which way your business is going to do that. So here are some common online business revenue models. Here's a few. So in terms of digital or physical products, you could sell something like, for example, a cookbook ebook, or maybe a how to build a website video tutorials, or maybe you want to be helping people with their personal finance, and so you sell some sort of like finance tracking spreadsheets that you create. Maybe if you're doing something like physical products, you would be doing something like clothing or jewelry. In terms of services, these are some common online business services. So something like social media management. Maybe you love being on Instagram all day. Well, perfect. This could be a really good fit of a business idea for you. Or maybe you're a really creative person and you're super skilled with something like Adobe Illustrator. Maybe logo design is a good idea. There's also other options like web design or accounting. Maybe you got an accounting degree in university and you just don't love working sort of like the corporate life, but you wouldn't actually mind that doing it as like an online business that you run for yourself. Or maybe you are just sort of like a jack of all trades and really organized and you would be a killer virtual assistant. Then some other ideas for you is in the education realm. So in the education realm, you could do something like online language learning lessons, e-courses, or this is hilarious, this actually exists. There is an etiquette lesson video series that you can purchase online, which is crazy and awesome. Then you could also go the revenue model of something like advertising or being an influencer. So here's some examples of what that might look like. So it could be like Instagram posts or stories where you are mentioning or advertising a product. You could do sponsored blog posts. So say, kind of similar to the Insta stories, is like, say a company gives you a product and they want you to talk about or review their product or sort of like drop mentions to it throughout your post naturally. Maybe you put literally like ads on your website, like you use something like Google AdSense, where different companies, they can have their ads on your website, and every time that people come to your website, however many like 1,000 views your website gets, you get paid for the advertising dollars. Maybe you're doing something like YouTube videos, and on YouTube videos, once you get to a certain point, you're able to enable YouTube ads on your videos. And again, you're getting paid per how many people are watching your videos and therefore watching the ad. Or maybe you're doing something like affiliate advertising. So this is, and I do this myself in my business. If there is a certain software or product or service that I really love, I will link to it from different areas on the internet, like maybe my blog, podcast, YouTube videos, Instagram posts, whatever. I will link to an item, and that link is an affiliate link. And so anytime someone purchases through that link, then I make a percentage of the sale for basically telling that consumer about that product from that company. So those are a few different ideas of how you can make this thing turn a profit and make revenue. But I do have a pro tip for you. So it is faster to build a profitable business that solves a problem. So this is one of the reasons that I shut down the travel blog and focused on the website design, because while building a travel blog is very useful, and there are many, many, many very, very successful travel bloggers, I knew, especially that I had just moved countries and needed to get a job in English quickly, that it was going to be faster for me to turn a profit if I started specifically solving someone's problem with a one-on-one service, as opposed to trying to get like a million page views and then start trying to like take on advertisers and using affiliate links to make money. So well, I'm not saying that you cannot go the advertising or influencer route. I will say that that is a bit of a longer term game. And so it's still worth going into if that's what you're passionate about. But just know that it's not going to turn a profit nearly as quickly as something like a business that solves a problem will. Now, let's talk about some revenue streams. So I'm going to go back to our examples and talk about the different revenue streams that each one of these businesses are making. So for my web design business, I was doing one-on-one web design services. I was also referring clients to other designers. So when I couldn't take on any more clients, my calendar was full, I would start referring them to other designers. And then those designers would give me a referral fee for basically giving them a client. I also have affiliate links throughout my blog, and so I would start making percentages of sales that went through those affiliate links. And I also have online courses, so that's another way that I make income. Then going over to the Blonde Abroad, so she has her all-female travel tours. She also has Lightroom presets. So basically, she has a hella cute Instagram. And so she's editing her photos with Adobe Lightroom. And so she has created these presets, which you can then purchase and then add on to your photos. So you can also have your photos beautifully edited like hers. She also does sponsored posts and sponsored blog posts and social media posts, and she's also making affiliate income. She'll say link to like, this is my favorite travel backpack, or this is the camera that I bring when I travel, and every time you click through one of those links, she makes a percentage of the sale if you purchase. Social Squares, there's sort of two sides to this business. You can either purchase a membership where every month you get new fabulous photos for your social media, or you can also go and purchase individual photos from their sort of like sister business. So those are the two different ways that this business is making money. Then with the Creative Law Shop, it is making money two different ways. So it sells these legal templates, which come with instructions on how to tweak them and tweak them to your business basically. Or there is also the option of having a one-on-one service by meeting with the lawyer who has actually created these different things and working through maybe any different more complex legal work with her individually. And then we have learning German with Anya. So Anya makes money in a few different ways, which is really interesting. So the first one is Patreon. And let me explain this to you quickly. So a lot of content creators, if that's like podcast, YouTube, blog posts, whatever, content creators can use a website called Patreon. And people can sort of say like, okay, I really love your videos. Every time you post a video, I'm going to give you $1 because I find your videos so helpful and useful to my life. There was legitimately a couple, they have a sailing channel. I just thought like they have the coolest life and I just love watching their videos so much. I decided to be one of their patrons and I would give, I think it was like $3 per video that they would post on YouTube. They give special perks if you're like someone who's actually paying for the content as well. So Patreon is one way if you're creating content, that could be a way to bring in money into your business. She also has an ebook on learning German. She has an online course and then she makes money through YouTube advertising. Now, we are almost at the end. We are at our online business matchmaker exercise. So here's how it works. So I want you to match together your chosen passion/skill along with your ideal client's problem or need, and then your chosen business revenue model. So I'm going to give you two examples to help demonstrate what this actually looks like. So for example, maybe you have experience or a degree in accounting, and maybe your ideal client's problem is that they've never done the bookkeeping before and they literally have no idea how to do accounting for their brand new business. So a business model, a few different ways that you could bring revenue into this business is maybe you would create a PDF guide on bookkeeping for first-time business owners. Maybe you would also do something like, one-on-one services of doing their bookkeeping for them. There's a few options you have there. Then maybe you have a skill, you love yoga. And so maybe your ICA's problem is that they really travel super often. And so they're not able to join just one studio because they're constantly moving. And so maybe your business model would be something like you do online yoga class membership. So you have a membership site and maybe every single day you release a new yoga video that they can follow along and do from anywhere in the world. Or maybe you do something like the Patreon videos. That would be another option for you. So now it is your turn. What I want you to do in your workbook is to fit together your 3 different bits and pieces. I cannot wait to see what your final product turns out being. Now, I would love nothing more than to find out what online business idea you came up with from going through this training. So please come find me on Instagram. I am at Paige Brenton, and I would absolutely, really, really, truly enjoy hearing what business you are going to be creating, and I cannot wait to cheer you on and see your fabulous business success in the future.